prove that it always exists. Prove that. I'll just write on a new page. So this is the main thing. Okay, we want to prove that so given any n, so n number of men and women is equal, and any preference list. Now the preference lists are complete. Everybody is present in everybody's preference list and so on. We are asking this question. Okay, does a stable matching? So remember, it is perfect by definition. Now, this is one of the harder questions. It's not very clear to show that it exists. Okay. Why? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right. So let me write that a little bit. So right. Um, so you are saying that you go to the women and ask. They choose. Right. Right. So this is first choice. Best choice. Right. So let's small example like this. Like this. Yeah, that's a very that's will this work? So then you go to the women's list W1, and let's say in that list M3 is somewhere higher than M2, somewhere higher than M1. There could be things in between, we don't know. No, but okay, so let's first try to understand the algorithm, right? So you're saying that first you group all the men who have W1 as their first choice, then group the men who have W2 as the first choice, and so on. Not all women may get used if the first column is not distinct. And then you go to W1 and you pick the best one for W1 among them. Right. So after the first step, you will have something like this, maybe this. And let's say W2 has M6, M5, and let's say M4. There could be things in between. So in this case also, maybe I can use a lighter color. So in the end, we want to be stable. That is the question. No, but then the problem. Okay, so now first tell me, how will you continue this? Then we can be more clear. Okay, I understand. Right, so the remaining men, now their first choices is gone because the corresponding women have better partners and they will never consider, you're saying, the lower ones. So it's a very natural algorithm. Yeah. Now, for the remaining men, you are saying for the remaining. So it's like the women are doing the picking, remember? Okay. But let me just write it in a more. But we want to then show that in the end, what you get is stable. That will be an interesting question. For the remaining men, go to. I think this will not work, but let's see. I don't want to. Something is wrong. Yeah, something is. It's too. Uh, it's too local. Like nobody's looking into the future and changing things. Yeah. For the remaining, go to their second choice. Yeah, something like that, right? So, but let first, yeah. So this is like a pseudo algorithm, maybe, and it may not work. But we should be able to tell a clear reason why it doesn't work. These things will give us more insight into this kind of thing. So, okay, first let's me try to understand. So, go to the second choice means that just take the second preference lists and just do the same thing. And no, but then my question is, for the women who are already used, are you going to consider them again? The women who have already picked their partners, are you going to consider? So, are you going to consider W1 again? Let's say in M6, M5's list and M4's list, W2 is second choice. I mean, our intuition tells us that we should not. Or no, I don't know. Should we? Yeah, this is the question. This may be the adjustment part, right? This may be the adjustment part. Would you consider the women who are matched again? No, but just if you think just in this way, like if the second when it comes to the second choices, then if the women who have already picked their partners, are you going to consider them again? I think we should, right? Because for W2, M5 might be higher, so she will have a chance to reconsider, which is something that we want. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. So we will consider. Okay, let's say we will consider. I think. Okay. But otherwise this just looks bad. Yeah, then the men will also get unmatched, and that makes it complicated. Yeah, then the men can also get unmatched. Yeah. So let me uh, make a preference list maybe. So what I am saying is, let's say that there was M5 here, and okay, I kind of understand that. Okay. Okay. Right. But then you see, here we have a very fundamental question. So go to the second choice and do the same thing. So let me first write that. Do the same thing. Okay. So just to give a thing, like if there is M5 and M4 here, and um, they have W, they have also have W1 as a second choice. Second choice. Then here what will happen is W1 will get unmatched from M3 and will get matched to W1. Will get matched to M5. Okay, so is it clear that is it clear how the algorithm goes forward? That's my first question. Yeah, so I think that's the right word, right? This is a self-correcting algorithm. So just to summarize it again, we first have the first choices and we see, and the women choose. And so it's like the women, but the women are not, it's not like the women are starting with their best choice, right? It is like the men are starting with their kind of starting, as you said, kind of half insured happiness, right? So the men are kind of starting with their first choice. Obviously, if three of them have the same first choice, then it's not possible. But otherwise, yeah, it's like the men are starting with their first choice, and the women's choices are kind of improving, right? Women has chosen something, now she gets a chance to improve upon it if in some later stage something happens. Can a man get a better partner later if uh, no, right? Man's a man's choices is not improving, never improving. Chances is never improving. Is that right? Right? Because I mean, if he gets used, if he gets engaged, let's say in the second round during the second choices, and if he gets unmatched later on, then his only chance to get engaged again is in some later stage, right? So his chances go down, and the woman's chances go up. Yeah. Yeah, right. So, but now the fundamental question is, before we even ask about stability, whether in the end you will get a stable matching or not, I think the first question to ask, which is kind of very easy to answer maybe, is that at the end, do we get a perfect matching? You see, this is a question that you have to think. So just think about it. Let me just write this algorithm a little more clearly. Okay, then we can proceed, because I think just would be good to write it, because this is completely new. I mean, there is an algorithm, but it's completely different. This is very new. It's the same thing, I think, in the end, but it's a very different perspective. So this is, I can remove this. Hmm. Someone is joining now. Why does he join? The class is over. This was at 9. Hi, Una. Yeah. Hello. Una. Yeah, the class was at 9. Uh, yeah. Yeah, you have to. The class was at 9, right? Not at 10. Even in the earlier mail, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, I will share the thing, and then you can ask the questions also later on. So now we are almost done. We are almost going to end. But yeah, let me first write the algorithm clearly. Okay. So step 1, group group the men with choice with first choice with first preference wi in a group in the ith group. Okay, so this is very natural to do, because then we can let the woman think clearly, right? And it's like, and we can, and then the step, yeah. Then let me just write here, match in the natural way. That's enough to write, right? Match in the natural way. Match in the natural way using women's list, because obviously, okay. And then in step 2, do the same with second preference list. If again match naturally, but if a woman gets a better partner, she goes for him. Woman, because the women are doing the picking. Are wait, what am I saying? Yeah, kind of. In whatever. If a woman gets, because we're using the woman's list, right? Gets a better partner. So maybe I should say that do the same with second preferences using the unmatched men. Using, because the matched men, they are fine, right? Naturally, they don't want to decrease their chances unless some woman forces that to happen. Unmatched men. Yeah. And obviously, if a woman just match naturally, maybe I can write that. And I don't have to write that. I've already written it here and it's just doing the same thing. So yeah, if a woman gets a better partner, she goes for it. And then continue like this. Continue till all the columns have been analyzed. Okay. Now this does seem correct to some level, right? So it's that's right. Over the course, that's right. But why will it be perfect? No. We are just asking for a perfect matching, not stable. Like my question is, will everybody get matched at least in the end? Like, will it even be a perfect matching? Just graph theoretically, not algorithmically. Okay, why? Mm-hmm. But what if they get unmatched? So, uh-huh. There has to be some. Right. Right. So it's very clear that it is a perfect matching. Is it clear, Rastubro? I think it would be clear. But, right. So this is a good news because then we can move forward. Yeah. So it's a perfect matching. Now the question is it a stable matching? And that also seems to be correct, but is it stable? Okay. So if there is a woman and there is a man, and let's say, yeah, so what you're saying seems correct, but let's see, let's write it. So if there is M and W, can it create a problem, okay, with the current matches? So yeah, so if W, okay, now let's think. So if W is matched with, so now if W prefers M more, no, but Raghav, you are arguing from the algorithm's perspective, but in general, is it stable? I mean, is it, so you're saying there is no blocking pair? It is correct, I think, but we have to give a better, we have to give a better reason. Yeah, it is correct, but the reason has to be given. And it has to do with this only, yeah, that the woman's thing is improving. And yeah, so I think what you said was perfect. Yeah, I don't think we have to change it. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. So, I mean, if this cannot be blocking, because it means then that W prefers M more, right? It means that W prefers, yeah, but then if it's blocking, then it's, let me write that clearly. If W prefers M, I mean over a current partner, and M prefers W, then what can we say? Yeah, and that's a very elegant way to put it, right? Then they would have already been chosen because M would have been presented to W before, because it would appear in an earlier column, and then W would have picked M, and then she would have never changed it for a lower partner. Simply put, right? If so, if W is higher in M's list, then in W's, if W is higher in M's list, then in W's list, M should have been lower, otherwise they would have been matched earlier, as you said. So it is stable, yes. Oh, so it's very incredible, right? That the very simple, we gave a very natural algorithm, right? And we got the right answer. Well done, right? So this was the algorithm. There was a different algorithm for this, which was 1960s, and it's called the Gale Shapely algorithm. It's one of the biggest, I mean, one of the most popular algorithms of all times. One of the most popular non-trivial algorithms. I mean, it's different from this, though the essence is good, but it's a fantastic thing that we kind of came up with it. You kind of came up with it on your own by just natural thinking. Okay. So there is something called the Gale shape. You can check it out on the internet also. But we have done it, but this for a thing, there is something which I will say once, but it's not very important. Maybe it's just spelling is wrong. But anyways, there is a Gale Shapely algorithm. So this is like this. It's not Shapely, Gale Shapely algorithm. Okay. And I will just say what it basically does. So basically, it does the same thing as you have done, but it says in a different way. Okay. It says that so every man comes, and what the man does is he proposes to the woman of his first choice. Okay. And if the woman is unmatched, then she kind of accepts that choice. Okay. So a man comes and he goes to his first choice. And basically, that's what you're doing, right? And then it's okay. And then after that round, then the second choices come, right? I mean, and so on. Right? And so if a man goes to a woman of his first choice, and if she's already engaged, then and if she doesn't prefer, then he goes to second choice, which is kind of what you're effectively doing, right? So I'm not, idea is same, but the method is very different, and it's kind of you came up with it on your own. So that's a very fantastic. It's a kind of new way to for the same thing. So yeah, but we will discuss that. Okay, but now here what I want to point out is number one is that this proof is algorithmic. The proof of the existence is in the construction. There is no proof yet known which kind of proves that it exists but doesn't construct it. So there are some extremal principal arguments you can say, or some kind of arguments by which kind of, okay, mono, like you take a arbitrary one, remove a blocking pair, decrease the number of blocking pairs by one, try to do such things, you see that it doesn't work. And yet that those no um, existential proof is known yet. It doesn't exist till now. And it says some things, but let's not go into all that. But yeah, but here I can ask a question, okay, which you guys can think. Show. So you have kind of found a stable matching, right? Let's call this star algorithm. Okay, you have found a stable matching by using the star algorithm. Okay. You see, your thing doesn't depend on how the men are, I mean, what order the men are. That order doesn't matter at all, right? In what order the men are coming and doing the business, it doesn't matter. So it says something very fundamental, and it says the following, which you guys should prove. It's a very good question. Uh, so if M is the stable matching, is the stable matching, because you can see it's unique, is a stable matching found in star, and M1 is some other, yeah, then show that M is happier, or at least as happy, is at least as happy in M than in M1, compared to M1, compared to in M1. And this is maybe a surprising statement, because the men are getting demoted. The men are getting demoted, but this is what's happening. You have to prove this. That if you take any other matching, then this, whatever the man is matched to in M, is the best. So that's what it is saying. Try to prove this. Okay, this is the homework. Okay, so yeah, let us stop here, and let's continue next time. Okay, if you missed it, others also I missed, I don't know what happened, whatever. I will share it, and then you can watch it, and next time ask questions. Okay, but this was an incredible thing that